Alright, so it's August 13, 2019. Things at the shop are hectic. We're busy on work. If we send one out, 2 guns come in for repairs. It's just, and this is kind of unusual because it's normally our slow time of year, but for some reason the economy's moving good or whatever the case may be, but people are spending money on old guns. So all that's going on. We're going to show you today some of the cool projects we got in here for repairs. We're going to show you some of the we got some really good looking shotguns for sale. We had a run on over-unders. We had some BARs come in for some mechanical issues that are kind of unusual. We'll show you those. And as a special treat, we've got a special order Superposed. We'll show you that one at the end of the video, but that's the best one, so stick around for that. Alright, let's get with the first one. It's a Holloway and Naughton. Never had one in here before. An English gun. Very, very beautiful shotgun. The engraving was top notch. The wood was fantastic. I'm a sucker for a checkered butt plate. That's just one of my personal weaknesses. This gun had it all. I mean, it was just perfect. Oh, it was in a nice luggage case. I'm also a sucker for nice cases. If I have a nice gun, I want it in a nice case. Anyway, came in here for some woodwork and bluing, and we got that thing cranked out here. It's finally going back to the customer, but we just thought we'd show it to you before it hits the road. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Our next shotgun, like I said, we had to run on over-unders. We purchased a Citori Feather Super Light, new in the box, 16 gauge. Beautiful gun, light as a feather. I mean, just unbelievably light. Just picked that up, came all the way up from Texas, is where we purchased it from. Technically it's a used gun because we bought it from a customer, but it's never been shot. It's new in the box, so we're still saying it's new in the box. Anyway, that was a nice 16 gauge Citori. I think the Citori is the best shotgun that Browning is making. There's a reason why the Citoris have gone on as long as they have. They're just reliable as all get out. Even if you do wear one out, you can rebuild the actions on them and crank away. It's not uncommon to see Citoris out there that have 50, 60, 70,000 rounds on them before they even need a rebuild. So let's show you that one. Like I said, I think it's the best shotgun Browning makes. I stand by that. It's not a cheap shotgun by any stretch of the imagination, but it's about the best bang for your buck that you're going to get. Anyway, like I said, it's a Feather Super Light. It's just a gorgeous gun, beautiful engraving. The only thing that I would change on it is the finish on the wood. I think if they put that high gloss finish on them, which I know we're getting into wood finish, which is all preference, it's not really a big deal. You can change it oil or gloss or semi-gloss, whatever you want. But I think if Browning was to do those in high gloss, it'd put those guns on a whole nother level. That's the only thing I'd really gripe about, and it's not really a gripe, it's just a finish on the wood. But anyway, change that and you got something to look at. Alright, so we had 2 BARs come in for mechanical issues. This is the first one. And this was kind of an oddity. We seen art working on it, we had to go over there and check it out. What had jammed this gun up was on the bolt body. There was a burr raised up on it where it couldn't rotate, it was dragging on it, and it jammed this gun up tight as a drum. What we had to do is disassemble the front of the gun. Once you get the body of the magazine out, you can actually see a little cavity in there. And once that cavity was exposed, we were able to get a screwdriver in there, push the hammer down, bring the trigger assembly out through the rear, then get to the bolt. Once we got to the bolt, there was just a small burr raised. It took about 2 swipes of a file to get rid of it, but that little burr had jammed this gun up tight as a drum. This gun was completely unoperational. You couldn't use it, couldn't do squat with it, couldn't close the bolt, couldn't move it in any way, shape, or form. The bad thing is the guy's got more in shipping charge than he does on gunsmithing. It was an easy fix, but while I was in here, we cleaned the internals and went through it. So, you know, we did what we could while we were there, but we'd never seen a burr like that raised in that particular area. But it jammed this gun up. It was just done for. The other BAR we had come in, guy had bought it, didn't know much of the history on it. Just, you know, he bought the gun used, so we figured out what was wrong. Inside the trigger assembly was what was left of a cleaning patch. And we think what happened was the cleaning rod came through the barrel without the magazine in it. There's a little cavity in between the bolt and the trigger plate. And we think what happened was he shoved it in there too far, pulled it out, ripped it off, or maybe it even fell off. You know, he didn't know. Or yeah, he may have known, may have not known, who knows. anything about that. Well, anyway, so that was left in the actual trigger assembly, and that's why that gun was unoperational. You could move the bolt back and forth. You could make the gun somewhat function, but the hammer wasn't hitting right, and that's why. Well, you gotta be careful doing that, shoving these cleaning patches through. The jam the gun up is one thing, but had that got torn off in the barrel, a guy could have easily had a little, catastrophe on his barrel and ruined a barrel. Doubt that it would have killed anybody, but more than likely it would have damaged the gun beyond repair. You tear up a barrel on a BAR, to replace a barrel on them cost almost as much as a new gun. But yeah, be careful with the cleaning patches. Make sure you get them out, because that could have done a world of hurts to that gun. And it was an easy fix on the gunsmithing side. As soon as we tore it apart, it stuck out like a sore thumb. There was nothing wrong with the gun mechanically. It just had a foreign object in it. So that was what jammed up our 2 BARs. Like I said, pay attention doing that stuff. If you send something down that barrel, make sure you get it back out. Whether the guy knew that sold the gun or not, we don't know. He may have known something was wrong, may have not have known, but anyway, that's what jammed up the other BAR. Alright, so we saved the best for last. We had a guy call us up. He had bought a gun off Gunbroker. And, he said it was a kind of unique gun. He wasn't quite sure what he had. Sent in here for some, little touch-up. And this is what he sent us. This is the... one of the holy grails to collecting is getting special order guns, and that's what we believe this gun to be. After talking to him, we've got him calling out to the Ogden Museum, or not the museum, but the headquarters, seeing if he get the thing to letter out, because we do believe the gun's going to letter. When you look at this gun, everything's right as rain. The way they cleaned up the inside of the receiver, the finish on the wood is right for that time period. Now this is kind of unique. They got 3 points on the checkering pattern that's very reminiscent of a pointer grade. So the wood looks like, I don't know if they had it over there already made up for a pointer grade and just slapped it on the gun. I couldn't tell you that part. If it was just special ordered, the guy just wanted that checkering pattern on it. But the engraving on the gun is right. The wood finish is right. One of the other things that makes us think that it is a special order gun, excuse me, is the chokes. When you look at the choke markings, it's full and full. And normally you don't see full and full on a Browning Superposed unless it's a 12 gauge, and even then, if it's trap configuration, but it's just unusual on a 20 gauge. So this gun's in the 4,000 serial range. It's going to be like I need to double check it on my serial chart, but it's going to probably be like a 51. There's no engraving signature, which kind of throws us for a loop, but the finish on the wood is right. The cleanup and prep work on the breech area is all correct. The hand file, though, it's got a hand filed matte rib, something you'd see like on a Midas grade. So everything from the wood to the engraving to the checkering to the this gun is if I was trying to, if a guy wanted me to build him this shotgun, for me to pay an engraver and buy a 20 gauge and get the wood made up, it cost me $10,000 to even replicate this gun. He got it for $4,000 off Gunbroker. So what a steal that was. When he sent it in here, he was going to have a few things done. After talking to him, he's going all out, doing a complete restoration on it, and money well spent. Now, all that being said, what everybody asks us, what do you think it's worth when it's done? And we told him, with everything going on, as rare as the gun is, we appraise it at about $12,000 to $15,000. And that might even be a skosh on the low side. You get this in front of the right collector, they might pay more for it. This was just a really unique piece. We were glad to see it in the shop. We get special order guns in here once in a blue one. It's the first one we've probably seen like in a year. To a Browning collector, this is going to be just one of the, like I said, it's going to be a holy grail of their collection. Anyway, we're going to put up lots of pictures for you because, me with my little camera here, you don't get to see all the fine details, but like I said, we saved the best for last, and we weren't joking around. This really is a nice shotgun. We do believe it's going to let her out. Hopefully Browning's got the records on it to back this shotgun, and we're going to find out pretty quick. But anyway, that's the stuff that's coming through the shop.